My name is Shelby Smith, and my speech is why softball is better than baseball, and it's to persuade you why softball is better than baseball. Although softball and baseball are similar, they are different in many ways. They have notable differences favoring softball. The size of the field, the style of the pitching, and the rules of the game are 3 examples of why softball is better than baseball. While the games softball and baseball have many fans, the players only prefer to play one, but not both. The purpose of my speech is to prove to y'all that softball is better than baseball by listing some key points on the field, the pitching, and the rules. The size of the field in baseball is much bigger in softball, and that's an advantage to softball players because they don't have that much room to run, to catch a ball, and to run to the bases, so that's an advantage. In baseball field, it's much bigger, so the outfielders have a lot more problem with running and judging a ball and getting there because it's so big in the outfield. And the outfield is much bigger. As I just said, the baseball has much trouble because the outfield is so big, and softball is so much smaller, so it's easier to catch the ball and judge the ball. And the distance of the bases in softball, the distance of the bases from first to third from home plate are much shorter in softball than they are baseball. And the pitching, the distance and the pitching mound from home plate, the softball is 43 feet, and in baseball it's 60 feet. So softball, you don't have that much. It's not that long of a length to pitch the ball, so it's going faster in. As in baseball, it's much longer, and it's much more to hurt your arm in baseball than it is in softball. And the strike zone in softball is much bigger than in baseball. So as you see in softball, like pro softball games, it's easier to strike people out because the strike zone is so big. And in baseball, you see almost a lot of walks because the strike zone is so small for a baseball player. And the techniques of the pitching is that baseball goes overhanded as when they throw, so therefore it is much harder for them because they can throw their arm out and end their career. And in softball, you go underhanded, so there's literally no way to hurt your arm, so you're good. So therefore I think it's easier because we are less likely to throw our arm out than in baseball, so it's much easier. And the rules are the batter's box in softball is 7 feet long, and in baseball it's only 6. So therefore softball, you have a bigger place to stand, and you just feel more comfortable with a bigger box than in baseball. You have a smaller box, and you can't really get yourself comfortable because you have to stay in that box, because if you get out the box, you're automatically out. And the catching wise in rules, catching in softball, you can use a catcher's mitt, a first baseman mitt, or a fielder's mitt. But in baseball, you can only use a catcher's mitt. So say a softball player's mitt breaks, but they can use a first baseman's mitt, or say they have another mitt, just a regular fielder's mitt, they can use those. But in baseball, their glove breaks, and they don't have a glove, they have to have a secondary catcher to come in because they can no longer catch without a glove. And the size of the ball also helps because the softball is much bigger than a baseball, and also the coloring, because the softball is yellow and a baseball is a white color, but if you play with the baseball that much, it's turns to a brown, so it's much harder to see, if a pop-up comes up and your eyes get caught in the sun. In softball, you can see it because it's bright and it's easy to find up in the outfield. And I hope these key points of the field, the pitching, and the rules help you to persuade you why softball is better than baseball. Giving the facts, the difference in the two sports, they will be able to make you think that softball is better than baseball. Which one is better? And in conclusion, my statement of this sport being a better sport is more than just my personal opinion. That having looked at the facts of both games, to me is an undeniable reason that softball is better than baseball. And I hope this speech has persuaded you to think why softball is better than baseball. Thank you.